Okay, so what's up today? We're doing something a little bit different. Okay, so it's been a couple of days since I last uploaded because we had some thing happen. My grandmother fell and broke her hip and had to go to the ER. So been having to deal with that and everything. So that's why I haven't been able to get a video out for about a couple of days. But so today I had to wait a little bit later in the day to do this because I had to do a lot of yard work today. So that's why I'm doing this a little bit later than I would like to. But okay, so today we're going to look at all my G.I. Joe stuff. Now, before we actually get into this box, I'm going to show you my vintage figures collection over here. I have in this ammo can over here. So, okay, so without further ado, let's get started on my vintage ones here. So as you can see, I got this ammo can right here. It's got all my vintage stuff. Now, I'm not going to go over every single G.I. Joe thing I have because if I do that, it's going to take forever. So, because I got a lot of, post vintage, like 25th anniversary stuff, classified 6-inch. So if I go over every single GI Joe piece that I have, this video is going to be hours and hours long. So I'm just going to go over vintage stuff today. I might do some other stuff later. So here's my box full of vintage, figures from 82 to 94 is the vintage run. And so I do GI Joe too because it kind of harkens back to what I used to do on my channel when I started out with. It's kind of got the origin of how my channel came to be here. So I'm going to move this out. I'm going to open it here. So as you can see, they're sliding off the top there. But as you can see, that's how I'm all stacked in here. So I'm going to set it off the side here so I can get these out. It'll be easier for me to show you. Okay, so first one on top here is Major Blood. And this was the very first video I actually ever done on my channel. So it's pretty cool. That's how I organize them too. I have a bag I put their file card and all their accessories in. So this figure of Major Blood is 100% complete. So like I said, that one's got a soft spot too because that was the first video I ever filmed on my channel. And right beside him, I have this figure here. This Major Blood from '94, I believe. This figure's incomplete, and I really don't care because I really don't like this figure. I just got this at the thrift store a long time ago, and as you can see, he is in pretty bad shape. So, yeah, but I backed him up since he is a version that I have, but yeah, he's in pretty bad shape. I probably won't complete him anytime soon because I'm trying to complete other ones that are more important. I also got this 85 Snake Eyes, which is also incomplete. This is the one of the most popular versions of Snake Eyes. Unfortunately, mine has a broken crotch. Also, beside him, I have my 82 Snake Eyes, which is incomplete. And you may be wondering how I had a complete one when I did my video. It's actually because my daddy still had his Snake Eyes from when he was a kid, so I borrowed his to do a full review on. That Cobra Commander was also, the Cobra Commander and Destro were also his too. I also borrowed it to do reviews on. He still had his from his childhood, so I borrowed those to do those reviews. I don't actually have those on me, but here is Sergeant Stalker, and I've already reviewed this one, and these flat green plastic figures you need to handle with care because these are bad to get broken very easily. So I've got Tripwire, CS Breaker, Short Fuse. Breaker's all complete. Short Fuse, I'm missing the correct mortar and 2 file card variants, I think, but other than that, he's mostly complete. Here's Flash, as you can see, and there's an extra Flash in there. I'm gonna show that one. Here's Grunt. He's all complete. I got an extra Grunt here too. I'll made over here too, cause same figure. Here's the Grunt that came with the Falcon glider, I think is what it was called. So that figure, the only he came with was his helmet and his file card. I don't have the file card, but as you can see, he did have his helmet on his head. Here's one of my favorites right here. This is Firefly, which I had done a review on him. Let's see, have Ace. That is Cross Country. He came with the I can't remember what that vehicle was called. The Havoc, I think, is what it was called. Unfortunately, I don't have that, but I have the figure. There is Zarana. This is the early version with the earrings. There's Xandar, which, I featured this figure in a review that I did of the classified version. Here's Zartan, one of my favorite G.I. Joe characters of all time. Which his pistol has gotten behind the file card. Hey, when that happens. I got, I'll omit this extra one I got over here, but I have this version of Zartan too. This is a release from India. This is the Fun School Zartan from 2003. So this is a pretty cool one. I think I've done a review on him too. Okay, I also got the Snow Serpent. It's also another one of my favorite figures. I also got the Snow Serpent is complete. The only thing about him is his AK-47, the stock is broke off. It's the only part that I'm missing is the stock because it's broke. But here is Iceberg. He's all complete. Here's a Snow Job. He's also complete too. You may be wondering why I don't actually have these on display. For one thing, I don't have anywhere to put them right now, so that's why they're all stored up. And I got them all organized too. I hate to take them all out because I got them all organized pretty good. I'm not the best organizer in the world, but I do have these organized pretty well too. There's Frostbite. He's incomplete. But he came with the vehicle. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. But I got some pieces that go to that. Some of my parts junk. Here is Lifeline. Just got a part of a ladybug or something that was dead. But there's Lifeline. I did review on him, by the way. Also, I did a review on this one right here. This is the Rice Krispies exclusive Lifeline that's still in his plastic bag. I never took him out because, that's cool. He's still in his bag, so I didn't want to take him out. Here is Roadblock. I think I've done a review on Roadblock. I'm not 100% for sure. But Roadblock is another one of my favorite characters. If I haven't reviewed him, I will probably soon. Because I like Roadblock. He's one of my favorites. Here's Doc. And Doc I prefer over Lifeline because Doc is less annoying than Lifeline. Let's see. Here's another one of my favorites right here too. Here is Airborne. He's also complete. Which Doc and Roadblock and both Lifelines are complete too. I forgot to mention that. Here is Blowtorch, which he's also complete. Along with Torpedo, who's also complete, which I think I reviewed Torpedo already. I don't know. I think I reviewed both of these. I'm not sure. I have to go back and look. Nope. There's a funny story with both of these two. One time because for a while, we had the accessories and stuff in with them, but we didn't know what happened to the figures. We never could find them. And then one day, out at my grandmother's house, my dad was doing something out in the garden. We had out there one time, and he found Blowtorch's helmet out there, and he brought it in to ask me if I knew what it was. And I said, "That's Blowtorch's helmet." So I took and washed it out where the hose pipe was. So we went out there and dug around, looked some more, and I found some more yellow. So I thought maybe it's another piece of it or something. I pulled it up, and it was a whole action figure. So I dug some more. I found Torpedo in there too. So we finally found them. They were buried out in the yard for probably over 40 years. So just want to say that's kind of a funny story. Okay, here is another one I like too. This is the Cobra. I have the classified version of this figure too, so I may review that too pretty soon. Here is Ripcord. That's another one that I like. He's also complete. His file card with somebody didn't cut it out good, but here is Dress Blue's Gung Ho. The only piece of this I'm missing is his gold sword, and a lot of people want way too much for it. That's why I haven't bought one yet. So there's another Airborne. We're gonna omit that one too, because I'll show you him. Let's see. Here is Beachhead, and Beachhead is another one of my favorites too. And Beachhead is the only G.I. Joe from my home state of Alabama, so that's one thing I always liked about Beachhead. There's another one in here too. I'm gonna omit him because I done showed you Beachhead. Here is Footloose. He's also incomplete. That Footloose, I actually have found when I was a kid. I actually found Footloose in my grandmother's closet in a tin can. It was all broke apart, and I took and put them together. So it's probably one of my daddies from when he was a kid. Let's see. Here is Crankcase. He's the driver of the All Striker, which I have a newer version of it. I don't have the vintage vehicle, but believe it or not, what's kind of funny is they still use the same mold from '85 because it still says '85 on the bottom. So I thought that was kind of neat. They still use the same mold. They just kind of tweaked it a little bit with different pegs for the newer figures. Here is Recondo. I think that's the wrong backpack. I think that's the accessory pack one. But it seems like I put that in there because it is the same backpack, but it's just a different color. Let's see. Here is Serpentor. And now Serpentor, I prefer Cobra Commander over Serpentor, but Serpentor is not. I mean, I don't hate Serpentor. I just prefer Cobra Commander. That's what I remember the most. And he's more normal looking. He more because Cobra Commander wears more of a normal style military uniform. Serpentor is very kind of he's elegant and all that kind of stuff. He's what's the word for it? Trying to flash his fame, I guess. He's really weird and overdressed. To me, he's like kind of like in an ancient garb. This is Spearhead. I actually found him at the thrift store a long time ago when I was a kid. Let's see, let me drag this around so I can see here. Let's see, that's an extra Wild Bill, but here's the other Wild Bill that I have. Now this figure, he came with a vehicle too. I can't remember what it's called. Here is Copperhead. There was a variant of Copperhead too that don't have the green paint on him and stuff. But this is the water moccasin pilot. Unfortunately, he has a broken crotch too. Let's see. Here is the Dodger from 1990. This is version 2, I believe. I don't have the first version. Which I didn't buy that figure new. I don't know exactly where that came from. Here's Tomac and Zaymon. I think that's the same figure actually. But I put them two together. I need to get the right one so I have both twins. So that's the same one. Okay, there's a few other figures in here that are post vintage that I got in here. I'll get them out and tell you. There's some file cards and other things in here that I don't have the figures to, but here's a few post vintage like this heavy water right here. Here's a Night Creeper. There's Shipwreck, and there's also a Crimson Shadow Guard. So those are post vintage. That's stuff that's from early 2000s, stuff like that. But I got a few of them in here that I'm missing the figure to. There's Gung Ho, his stuff. Storm Shadow, missing the figure of him. Zap, I'm missing the figure of him. I got 2 bazookas. I'm missing the 3rd bazooka, but I got his backpack and everything in there too. Missing the helmet too. There's Duke. I'm also missing the figure with him. Duke's hard to find where he doesn't have a broken crotch. So that's another issue. Also, I got 2 other baggage in here too. There's Scarlet's crossbow and Lady J's stuff. That's got Christmas tassel stuff all over it. But so that's all my vintage figures. So let me clean all this back off and I'll show you what's in this box. Okay, so I got the box cleaned back off, and now I'm going to open this up and show you what's in here. I got some stuff written on here, what's in here. Now, not all this stuff's not in here now because I had to take and move it out because this box was getting too full when the lid wouldn't go down, so I had to take some of this stuff out and put in a different box. Now, obviously, this is not in here anymore, but my 25th anniversary and all that stuff, I had to take them out. Rise of Cobra, Retaliation, all of them figures I had to take out because I couldn't fit them all in this box anymore. But I got them in a different ammo can thing, so I'll go and show you them later, but I'm not going to do that in this video. But so let me take the lid off here, and so as you can see, this is what a 12-inch figure and stuff. And all this stuff is not vintage. Like obviously, this is not vintage there. This is a 25th anniversary. It's the Ninja Viper. I've been looking for a vintage Ninja Viper, but they're kind of expensive. Let's see. Here is the Polar Battle Bear. They're the two versions that I have. I have a Canadian release there, as you can see, and the standard US one. And now I did do reviews on these, which one of these was actually missing the Rob's bar when I was done a review. So I forgot I had actually bought Rob's bar since then. So because I haven't opened this box in a very long time, so I forgot I actually ordered that part. Let's see, this is a vintage G.I. Joe coloring book from 1982. That's when, a Real American Hero first started. This was 99 cents when it was new. This would cost a lot more than that nowadays. But so it's pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. This hasn't really been colored in, but and I actually got some copies of these I actually colored when I was a kid. So I think they're in the bottom of this box somewhere. I'm not gonna take every single thing out of this box, because if I do, this video is gonna be way too long, because this video is probably already long enough. Now, see, there's a 12-inch. Viper. There's a NECA figure stand in here. I don't know why that's in here, but there's an extra file card and some other stuff down here too. This is not vintage era, but I'll show you what it is if I can get it to come out. So this is pretty cool. I think I may have showed y'all this on one of my Christmas videos that I did about a year or two ago now. But this is pretty neat though. This was an exclusive box set of Duke and Cobra Commander, the way they appeared in the Sunbow animated series. That's how these figures use the vintage molds and everything. So that's pretty neat. I haven't opened these yet either. I don't know if I'm going to open them or not. I mean, I kind of hate to, but yeah, because they've been stored in here for a long time. So yeah, part of me kind of hates to open them, and then again, I'd like to do a review on them. So I don't know. I mean, it's hard to do a review without opening something. But yeah, I keep them in this magnet box too. Okay, so see, there's 12-inch Neo Viper right there from the Rise of Cobra. Let's see, this thing. This has got like parts and accessories. I need to put these in my accessory thing that I have by my review station. So I think I'll take and set this off to the side, because I need to put them in my parts outside my review station. Let's see, this stuff here. This is blueprints and stuff that go to vehicles. This is the Polar Battle Bear. I just figured. So this is the standard US directions. I also got an extra one here as well. I've got see, I think that's the standard US. Yeah. This other one's also standard US directions. See, this is the Tech Cannon. This is something of my daddy's. Unfortunately, some of his stuff he doesn't have anymore like this, because one of his cousins, had stolen some of his stuff, when they were younger, never did bring it back. So that's unfortunate. But I got the directions to the Canadian version too. They may not be in this box. I'm not for sure. Maybe that's them right there. Yeah, this is them. So this goes to one of them newer All Strikers. Yeah, this is the directions that go to the Canadian release, because as you can see, it's got English on one side and French later, because some Canadians speak French, so that's why it's got English and French. Like nowadays, a lot of stuff has here in the U.S. has English and Spanish. A lot of older stuff back in the day didn't, but now it does. Here's a bunch of cards. Now these are 25th anniversary cards. I got the vintage card for the Cobra Eel somewhere. It's probably down the bottom of this box somewhere. I don't know where it is, but this is a vintage thing right here too. This is the snake armor. This is the box that it came into, and unfortunately this is kind of ripped off. But as you can see, here is the snake armor itself. I haven't done a review on this. There was a black version of this that is very rare and expensive. If I can ever get my hands on that, that'd be good. I'll do a review on it as well. But Unfortunately, yeah, that part came off, but that's pretty cool right there. And still got the original packaging, so that's another thing that's cool. There's some collector books in here too. One of them is not G.I. Joe specifically, but it's got G.I. Joe stuff in it. Now, this other one's the first Ultimate Guy. There's been other Ultimate Guys. There were some errors in this one that were fixed later. But okay, here it. Let's see, this is Valor versus Venom. Now, was actually I bought this at a flea market for like see, there's got a sticker on the back that says for $1, and cause yeah, see, I was like, that's cool. Since it's $1, I was like, oh, I'll buy it. And which the box says, the case says Valor versus Venom, but the tape inside is actually the '87 animated movie, so it's got the wrong tape in it. But now VHS tapes are very obsolete nowadays. You don't see these anymore. But I mean, for $1, that wasn't too bad. But so yeah, I think that's all the vintage stuff that's in this box up there. There's these colored copies of that I was talking about that I had printed out a long time ago out of that book over there, which I wouldn't want to mark in that book anyway. Yeah, there's Sergeant Stalker. So yeah, I wouldn't want to mark in that book anyway. I'll probably stick them with it though. So I think that's all the vintage stuff in here that I know of. You know, I'll go through some of this later, but this video is kind of getting a little bit long, I think. So if you like this video and see some more, like it, give me a thumbs up. That helped me a lot. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Till next time.